You know what the problem has always been, in my opinion, especially since he got famous, is David Haye hasn't been active enough. Now, when you look at the fact that he fought Vladimir Klitschko in 2011, remember, he's saying that he lost that fight because he wasn't 100%. His toe. His toe was having some issues. He pulled his toe out on, what was that? Was that on pay-per-view over there in the UK, and showed people his pinky toe. Then, when it came to another big fight in which I was looking forward to twice, was it 3 times or 2 times? I believe it was 3 times. Well, whatever the case may be, I forgot, but he was supposed to fight Tyson Fury in February of, 2013? And then in September of 2013, and guess what? The fight didn't happen because he gets some cut in sparring or whatever the case may be. Then he gets a shoulder injury. He retires. And now it's just that his next fight, which is, my bad, let me cut off the Moody Blues. His next fight is against a guy who's ranked by the WBA. So which means that David Haye is going after the WBA title. So I'm guessing that if he beats Mark de Mori, who he's fighting January the 16th, 2016 on Dave TV, whatever the hell that is, he will leapfrog and take Mark de Mori's position in the WBA rankings, because the first thing you want to do is, if you're coming back to fight and you're going to be fighting seriously to try to win and get a hold of a world title, is you want to fight a guy who's ranked so you can get into the rankings. Nobody seems to care about this fight. And right now I'm thinking, listen, the retirement thing and him not being as active over the years, especially during his reign, in the heavyweight division, not reign, but his time in the heavyweight division. As soon as he started getting his name really, really popping, especially around the Derek Chisora Brawl time, he started getting that global exposure. What happens? The Tyson Fury debacle happens. Then he retires, and now he's coming back, and it's like nobody really cares. But they put it this way, I'm going to be watching the fight. The reason why I'm watching the fight, the main reason why I'm watching the fight, is I want to see how good he looks, because he's talking Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua in the future. So I'm watching this fight to see, okay, how does he look coming back after? How long has he been going? Since 2012. How is he looking as coming back at nearly a 4-year layoff against, a ranked guy? That's what I'm looking for. Mark de Mori hasn't fought anyone that we know of. I watched a couple of fights of his on YouTube, and looking at his record, literally, he fought nobody that anybody, may know of. So the reason why we're watching this fight is to see, how does the former cruiserweight look after a 4-year layoff? How does his movement look? Will his power be there? Will he get the knockout? Will the fight be exciting? Because the last thing he needs is to have a boring fight against a guy who's been stopped before. Mark de Mori's been stopped before, from what I'm looking at. That's the last thing he needs. He needs to have an exciting fight. And then if he's going the WBA route, let me look at the WBA rankings. The next guy I would like to maybe see him fight is, who knows? I mean, him versus a Kubrat Pulev would be good. You got David Haye. Imagine David Haye versus Shannon Briggs, and Shannon Briggs ranked pretty high by the WBA. You got Luis Ortiz, who's the WBA interim champion, who has to fight Alexander Ustinov sometime in before the summer of 2016. And you got Tyson Fury, who's the WBA champion. So it's going to be interesting to see if David Haye, after this fight, if he wins, if he's going to fight again in 2016. That's the next thing. And also the next thing to look at is, this is a guy who says he doesn't fight around the holidays, is to see, when is he going to fight again. After this fight in January, will he fight again in April? I think he should fight again in April or May, and then fight again in September, or October. I think this should be a 3-fight 2016 for David Haye. But does he have it in him? In fact, let me see. When was the last time David Haye actually fought 3 times in 1 year? Better yet, 2 times in 1 year. The last time he fought 2 times in 1 year was in 2010. That was 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago, when he fought John Ruiz, and then he fought Ollie Harrison. The last time he fought 3 times is 2006. Now, he's still fairly young, 35 years old in this day and age in boxing, that's still fairly young. I'm thinking, should he fight 2 or 3 times this year? I'm saying fuck it, 3 times. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.